Hello everyone, my name is Sophie, also known as Sony Magical, and welcome back to the Magical Bujo project. This month is gonna be the month that's gonna be based on Princess Tutu. So a lot of the inspiration for the monthly overspread is actually gonna be based on the official artwork that they use for the DVD's covers. So right here I'm just doing my calendar. As you can see, I already pre-drew everything that I needed. So I'm just gonna go over everything with my liner. So I started doing my boxes for my days of the week, and then after that I just started outlining what's gonna be my stage. Then here on the corner I had a lot of empty space, so I decided to do this window. It also has the same architecture that they use in one of the covers of the DVDs. And then obviously I had to add one of the feathers to represent Ahiru. So after that I'm just gonna start coloring. I'm trying to replicate as much as I can the actual colors that they use on the DVD covers. So it's gonna be a lot of like natural and cool tone colors of browns, oranges, greens. Yeah. So after I'm done coloring my stage, I'm gonna use this gold gel pen to do this like print pattern that they actually have on the corners of the DVDs. I would suggest if you have the pinches to do it. I would do it in every single corner just to try to bring the spread all more together. And just like on the DVDs, the actual calligraphy is also on this gold color. So I'm using the same exact gel pen that I use for the corner. And you're gonna see right here, I actually smeared the pen. So I actually corrected it off camera with just some whiteout. So I'm just gonna color my arches. I intentionally did not pick that shade of yellow. I thought it was much lighter to try to actually mimic the one that they use on the DVD covers, but it still works out. But I do suggest if you have a lighter one to use a lighter shade of yellow right here. So now I'm just gonna color all my whole window this light blue. And then after I'm done coloring, I'm actually gonna grab this gray marker, and I'm gonna try to apply the least amount of pressure that I can, just to try to make this very thin lines, enough for me to be able to write over them without them contrasting a lot with the ink that I've been using. After that, I just went ahead and started writing the days and names of the week on my calendar. And then to try to bring it all together, I'm actually gonna color the whole background a magenta or dark red color. Something that's very interesting about the Princess Tutu art is that it's actually very dark. Most of the backgrounds that they use are very dark. So I tried to bring that together by using almost the same cardamom red color. Okay, and it just happened to be that Ocean Space actually did Princess Tutu stickers, so I decided to use the ones that I received to try to put a little bit more accents into them. Okay, so now for the next spread is gonna be my mandatory build tracker. As I mentioned, every month you can do any type of tracker that works best for you. This is just the one that works the best for me. And just to try to spice it up, this month I'm also adding a mail tracker and a note section. This bow with ballerina slippers that I put on the top, or like in the middle separating them, is actually also based on the Princess Tutu covers. They have the exact symbol, so I decided to use that one just to divide my I guess my other different spreads, trackers, my other different trackers. And just to try to make it pop out a little bit more, I decided to actually color the lines in different colors to try to divide them and break the page a little bit more. So here is gonna be a new tracker that I'm gonna be starting. This is gonna be a book tracker. Obviously I don't think I'm gonna read this many books in 1 month, but if you do, like, oh my god, you read so fast. But this is a spread that I can always come back and fill out. Since it's not gonna be a mood spread, it's something that you can always like throughout the year fill out, so you don't have to be worried about like doing reading that many books in one month. So basically the basics is you draw a square and then you start drawing this book spines, and I just decided to do a little bit more of an intricate bookcase in general by adding like this different mole top, but you can always do a just plain square bookshelf and it will just look as fine. So after that I just started coloring like this very again very muted colors and very natural, since I still wanted to keep on the same color scheme that the other spread has. So a little bit of pink for the ballet aspect, and then the browns for the actual series. So to show an example, I just wrote Princess Tutu in one of the books just to try to theme it with the month, and then I just went ahead and colored it to make it pop a little bit more. And then I'm also gonna be adding more of the ocean and space stickers. I added Mythos and by here, and then to the next spread. So this is one of the spreads that I was not 100% sure what I wanted to do to try to represent the series and do a mood tracker in general. I feel mood trackers is something that I always use, and they're the most creative ones that I feel that you can always do in your spread. I don't think I have watched the whole series or remember the whole series enough for me to make it something relevant to the series by itself, so I decided just to draw a hero in a bathtub. I know when she gets in the water she transforms into a dog, but I just decided to draw her as a human over here. And then what are actually going to be my mood trackers are going to be all the bubbles that are on the top. So all the bubbles that I'm floating, that's what I'm going to be filling out with different colors throughout the month to keep track of my mood. So after that, I'm just gonna very quickly color it with some markers, but really nothing special. Okay, so the interesting thing here is to actually keep track of my moods. I decided to paint what's for me the towel different colors. I definitely picked a very salmon looking pink, but I wanted to pick a little bit of like lighter pink, and off camera I actually wrote what each color represents for the mood. And then again, I decided to add another of the stickers. Now for the next spread, it's actually gonna be my first weekly spread. And as you know, every weekly spread has a featured artist and a different character. So this one's actually gonna be based on card Captor Sakura Clear. And so I just started doing this like rectangles, and these are actually gonna be representing letters. So I wrote 1 to 10 and a J. The J is gonna represent my day 11. So after that, I just went and wrote the initials of every day of the week. So PH for Thursday, F for Friday, and so on. So I started to add this clouds with a watercolor just to make it very fade and more natural looking. And then I went back to the letters, and I went back to the cards, and I started drawing hearts, one going up and then one going down, and it gives the illusion of like the Poco cards. So here on the corner, what's interesting is I think I did the best that I could to actually represent the symbols that they actually have in Sakura card Captor, the cloak card and the magician symbols. And I think what makes it pop the most is that you actually have to use 2 different shades of the same color to make it look more interesting. After that, I just started drawing this like red petals. These are gonna represent more of the roses, since she is actually themed after, or the specific outfit that she's wearing is actually themed after the Queen of Hearts. So obviously red roses are the best match. So here's the sticker. This one's actually by Merc_art, and I want to apologize already to all the artists from this month, and I'm probably gonna butcher their names. So I also noticed that if you want to bring something more, or you don't specifically want to draw all the details, they have this washi tape sticker of different petals, so I just added a little bit more of that. I also had to add some Sakura petals just to go with her. Okay, so this week is actually going to be based on Sailor Mars, and this is probably the most aggressive spread that I designed. As you see me doodling a bunch of like white stripes. You see me doodling a lot of orange stripes that may not look like much. But the interesting thing about this one is that you actually have to use the same kind of like range of colors. So right here I started with a lighter yellow, and now I'm transitioning to a little bit more of a darker yellow, still yellow but a little bit darker, and that one's gonna go on the top. After that one I started going again with an orange one, and if you cannot tell by now, I'm actually creating this kind of like illusion of fire or flames to do my squares for my days. Okay, and the last one that I'm going to be doing is my red. So what's important about this one is that I actually picked a thicker marker, so that way my lines and my strokes are going to look thicker than the ones that I have underneath. So I would suggest pressing your marker as much as you can, or just making it thicker if you don't have a thicker marker. Just in general, if you have the same size, just go over it and make like bigger lines. And obviously I had to draw her Senshi color here on the top as well. I added a little bit of like this flame detail, just a little bit of spark, just not to leave it that much empty. And then after that I decided to grab this black marker that I have and draw this very like Japanese ink inspired crows to represent Sailor Mars crows. So after that I just went ahead with the black pen and started writing the days of the week. And finally here on the corners where my sticker is gonna go, or the empty space. And this one's by Raniranivib. Okay, so for the one that I did before was very aggressive, so this one's gonna be a very muted and very simple spread just to try to break down from the aggressiveness of the previous spread. This one is actually gonna be based on Tokai Teio. Is a character that might not be that well known, but she's actually from Musume, this horse girl racing anime, which is pretty cute. I seen the first season. She's one of the background characters, but she was picked by most of you on the polls of which characters you wanted to see. So here she is. So obviously I started drawing my squares, and then I grabbed this like very muted purple to do a top band and then lower band, and then I went with the same purple inside the boxes. That's gonna be where my name, like my week titles, are gonna go. I drew a to-do list here in the corner since I had a lot of empty space, and then I tried to do this checker pattern to try to tie with the actual sticker design a little bit more. And then finally, here's my sticker. This one's by Scinnahun. I'm really sorry. Those names are kind of very hard, so bear with me. So here's the sticker. It's gonna go here in the corner to make an opposite with the checker pattern. And that's it for this spread. So for the next spread is actually gonna be based on one of my childhood favorite animes. Is gonna be based on Tokyo Mew Mew, and this is gonna be Mew Lettuce. So right here in the background, I actually decided to draw her castanets, and I'm gonna be making this illusion of this drawing that's part of a background and it's not meant to be on the front of the page. So the best way to do this is grab the lightest markers that you have, or the lightest highlighters that you have, and you're not gonna add any you're not gonna contour, is that the liner? You're not gonna do any liner to the drawing, so you're just gonna leave it bare, just the color by itself. Obviously I took the design from the exact same one that they use in the show, and then after that I started doing my boxes. As you see, I went over my marker over the drawing, so that also helps with the illusion that this drawing was meant to be on the background. I also drew Mew Lettuce or lettuce symbol in the corner, and then I started writing my names like very big to cover a lot of space, as well as the name of the date. And then finally, here's my sticker. This one's a little bit easier. This one's by caszicantdraw. So this one is probably the biggest sticker that I had commissioned. It's like this 3-tier face expression. And yeah, so that's everything for this month. So as you see here, it's gonna be just the overview of every spread. And again, thank you everyone so much for watching, and thank you to the artist as well as an apology for pronouncing your username wrong. But if you want any information for every single artist, everything's going to be in the description down below. All their links or their username, and every single place where you can actually buy their stickers if they do have it available for this monthly spread. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.